This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hi there, I'm Ray Collins. Scott is off today. Topping our news at noon, a former deputy is in court this morning for a bond hearing. Sarasota County Deputy Frankie Bybee is accused of exploiting an elderly woman and then trying to kill her. Now, his wife is among 3 witnesses taking the stand today for his defense. The prosecution plans 1 witness. Bybee is facing several felony charges, including attempted murder, battery, and grand theft. His former colleagues say he met the alleged victim on a routine call last fall and began helping her around the house. He then allegedly wrote checks to himself and they say tried to kill her and make it appear like a suicide. His friends have rallied to his defense the past 2 weeks. His next court date is February 24th. We'll have more in today's hearing today at 5 and 6. New at noon, a possible medical episode may have led to this fatal crash on University near North Honore this morning. FHP says a 61-year-old in a gray Corolla rear-ended a Camry. The man died at the scene. Now, the driver and passenger in the Camry were taken to Lakewood Ranch Medical Center. Their injuries were minor. All lanes have since reopened. The search is on for 2 men who burglarized a furniture store. Look at this video. Surveillance video shows the thieves entering Dutch Crafters Amish Furniture Store on Lockwood Ridge Road last Thursday about 5 a.m. The store manager says they stole a table and 4 matching chairs. They're worth nearly $3,000. The furniture was chained up outside in front of the store. If you can help, call Crime Stoppers at 941-366-TIPS. A travel ban, ties to Russia's president, and underreporting terrorism. That's Tuesday for the White House. ABC's Janai Norman has details.
It's been 3 months since the election Vladimir Putin is accused of trying to influence, and President Donald Trump is still distancing himself from the Kremlin despite defending Putin in a weekend interview. Tweeting this morning, "I don't know Putin, have no deals in Russia, and the haters are going crazy. Yet Obama can make a deal with Iran, #1 in terror, no problem." Refugees are welcome here. At the same time, the president is preparing for another fight. His controversial travel ban takes center stage in a federal courtroom today. The president standing by the executive order restricting travel for refugees and citizens of 7 Muslim-majority countries.
ISIS said, we are going to infiltrate the United States and other countries through the migration. And then we're not allowed to be tough on the people coming in?
Justice Department lawyers say it's a lawful exercise of the president's authority, but nearly 100 top tech companies, attorneys general from 15 states, and the District of Columbia oppose the order. And the White House still working to defend the president's claim the media is covering up terror attacks.
You've seen what happened in Paris and Nice. All over Europe, it's happening. It's gotten to a point where it's not even being reported. And in many cases, the very, very dishonest press doesn't want to report it.
We'll provide a list later. There's a lot of instances that have occurred where I don't think that they've gotten the coverage it's deserved.
Overnight, the White House released a list of 78 attacks they say were underreported. It included some low-profile cases, like a 2014 attack in Abu Dhabi when an American teacher was stabbed to death, but also high-profile cases that were extensively covered, like the San Bernardino shooting and Pulse nightclub attack in Orlando. Janai Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Also new this afternoon, First Lady Melania Trump refiled a lawsuit against the publishers of the Daily Mail. The First Lady has sued for reporting rumors that she once worked as a high-end escort. The lawsuit was originally filed in a Maryland court but dismissed there. It's now being filed in New York, where the corporation has offices. The First Lady is seeking at least $150 million in damages. Back here on the Suncoast, a possible solution to the battle to dredge Big Pass to add sand to Lido Beach. Sarasota City Manager Tom Barwin's proposing a $2 to $3 million insurance fund for the project. Barwin says $2 million could come from the tourist development tax and the $3 million from Sarasota County. Now, he says if the dredging negatively impacts either Siesta or Lido Key, the fund could be used to correct it. Now, city staff will present a proposal for city commissioners in about 2 weeks. And not a bad beach day right now. Let's get the afternoon forecast from meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, it's stressed the right now part. Yeah, I think we have a pretty decent afternoon in store for beachgoers, I think. We'll probably see some showers begin to pop up in inland areas a little bit later on. But we have a potential strong line of storms headed southward during the overnight tonight, and that could lead to some thunder and lightning around there, something we haven't seen in a little while.
No, we haven't.
Here on the Sun Coast, so we'll be watching that pretty carefully. Right now, the tower cam showing some very pretty conditions outside, a lot of blue sky. You know, we've kind of been battling back the clouds from time to time today, but for the most part, everything looks pretty good at the current time. The Sarasota Bay webcam put into motion shows a little bit of cloud cover that has rolled in, but all in all, I think we're going to be looking at a fairly decent couple of hours. Now, we did see some clouds move through earlier on today, producing a few scattered showers down around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor. But I think our most likely location the rest of this afternoon will be in inland Hardee and DeSoto counties. Otherwise, it's overnight where our eyes keep focus and watch for the potential of some stronger storms moving through. The Severe Storms Prediction Center has put part of Florida into a risk for severe weather tonight, I should say. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Manatee County water customers may soon see a hike in their water bills. Commissioners will consider increasing rates at a meeting today. If approved, rates will go up by 4% this year and 4% more next year. That would mean about a $2 increase for the average household, from about $70 to about $72 a month. The city of Venice will automate their trash service. Workers will start passing out new cans to the Willow, Chase, and Waterford areas today. City officials say they hope the new cans will allow truck drivers to stay behind the wheel and dump the cans with a push of the button. They'll drop off about 780 new cans in the near future. Let's go to the kitchen now, where our good friend Lindsay McDonald's here from Jack Dusty's at the Ritz-Carlton. You've got a sweet treat for us today, Chef Lindsay.
I sure do. I'm excited to be here. We're making German chocolate brownies, the most popular item on our menu today.
Love that and much more after this. Stay with us.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s, plus incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour 6 designer models. This is the time of your life. Make it island time at Harbor Isle. Go to mintofla.com now.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I got some really great ribeyes, but my old grill died.
We got a lot of grills here. I show Clay a 3-burner with stainless steel grates. We'll even set it up and deliver it for him.
Ace is the place where you'll feel like you're in grill heaven. Only you won't run into your old grill. That would be awkward.
I'm gonna need more ribeyes.
Don't miss these February Red Hot buys on Wild Bird Food and Scott's Bonus S Weed and Feed. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So currently we're looking at some pretty warm conditions out there. We've hit 80 degrees already, warmer than where we were yesterday at this hour. So I think we'll probably top it out at around 82 for a daytime higher. So we have a building cloud cover, and the dew points, there's no other way to describe it. It has become humid outside. It is sticky. Not like dew points in the 70s like we get in the summer. No, not quite that. But certainly mid-60s, most people would say, you know what, I'm beginning to feel it, beginning to think that's a little too humid out there. And that will help support some scattered showers around today and probably tomorrow as well. South wind coming in now briskly at about 15, pumping that moisture up through the area. 78 Myakka, Arcadia, 77 in Wauchula, coming in at 78 in Bradenton Parish, Lakewood Ranch at 77, 70 Longboat Key. As I mentioned, 80 in Sarasota, but Venice is at 76 and Inglewood at 77. Northport at 77. I'm not so sure about that 93 degrees. I would completely discount that. I think the computer had a problem there. Good news on the red tide front. We only have one reporting station where Mote Marine has sent out observers to actually in situ find out what the kind of irritants in the air actually are, whether people are coughing. This is live reporting from these stations, and only one of them is showing even just a slight little bit of irritants in the air, and that is pretty good compared to where we were a little while back. So can't complain about that. All of the south beaches are this morning not reporting any issues. Winds may shift a little southwest this afternoon as we start to see storm systems begin to develop in inland areas along a sea breeze front, which will form. Right now, things are pretty quiet across our area. Looks like we have one little shower that's just beginning to move now into interior sections of Charlotte County. Sea breeze beginning to form. It will move inland a pretty good distance, and both Hardy, DeSoto, and inland Charlotte will all see scattered showers forming along that sea breeze front. Coastline, I think, should remain relatively clear. That's number one issue in terms of rainfall. Number two, we have a line of showers back to the west. That's a frontal boundary and a little upper level system. This is the one where they could see some severe storms a little bit later on today. Watch boxes have been hoisted for the area around Louisiana Delta region. So we'll watch that area for the potential of severe weather. We are not yet included in that zone of possible severe weather, but I'm certainly going to be watching tomorrow morning early on as that line of showers begins to make its way on through. You can see the gathering clouds that'll be moving into our region later in the afternoon, most likely during the overnight. Double barrel areas of low pressure will kind of merge together to form one rather strong cold front sinking south. And then we will see this little piece of energy in advance of that front kind of rotate right through the area, producing this line of storms that moves on through. So we have three distinct things that we'll watch. The first one is the sea breeze showers this afternoon. The second one is that little impulse ahead of the cold front that'll produce potentially thunderstorms and maybe some stronger storms from about midnight tonight through about 5 a.m. And then the third one, the frontal boundary itself actually moving on through and finally clearing everything out on Thursday with just some scattered showers around. South wind at about 10 knots for the rest of the week. After we get through that Thursday frontal passage, looks great. Lower humidity, lower temperatures, lots of sun. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Sounds good. In our health news now, today kicks off Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week. It's one of the most common types of birth defects and could appear in the first months of life. One key symptom to look out for is when a baby turns blue. And that's not good. That happens when there's an abnormal saturation in the blood level. There have also been advances in surgical techniques as well. More children with the defect are able to live normal, healthy lives.
Our measure of success is when I see a child that I've operated 10 or 15 years ago is actually having normal life, is not short of breath, and is able and did not need reoperations. And that's what is the true success of congenital heart surgery.
It's a condition that affects nearly 1 in 100 births every year. To check for potential heart defects, doctors suggest expectant mothers have a fetal echocardiogram during pregnancy. Well, many New Year's resolutions for smokers involve, of course, kicking the habit. A new survey shows most, or about 3 in 5, are smoking again. Here are some tips from reporter Kim Hutcherson.
At the beginning of every year, people make resolutions to improve their lives. From exercising more to eating out less, the new year brings out the urge to better ourselves. One of the most popular resolutions people make is to quit smoking. There are more than 1 billion smokers worldwide, and every year many try to kick the habit. But as most find, it's not that easy. Data released by the Royal Society of Public Health in the UK shows that 3 in 5 people who resolved to quit smoking at New Year's picked it back up by the end of January. That, experts say, is because of the strong chemical addiction smokers must overcome. But don't be discouraged. You can ditch those cigarettes once and for all. First, don't give up if you slip up. It will happen. Second, start with setting smaller, more realistic goals, like using nicotine replacements, a patch or gum, in the beginning. Achieving small steps will make lifestyle changes easier to maintain. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
It's one of the most beloved operas of all time. John has a guest from the Sarasota Opera. Not just any guest, John, a VIP guest.
Yes, indeed. Opera lovers, I guess, rejoice because the season of opera is just about to open, and the first offering is one of the most loved of all time, Madame Butterfly. And Maestro Dorinza joins us now. Thank you for coming in on this very busy day preceding the opening of the first show of the new season, Maestro. And tonight, I know you have a talk back for to see the artists, to get to meet the artists.
Meet the artists at 5 o'clock in the Opera House.
And Madame Butterfly, tell us about Sarasota Opera's production of Madame Butterfly.
We do Madame Butterfly every few years because people want to see it. It's a great opera. It should be seen, and people who know opera want to see it again, and people who are new to opera, it's a good opera to see for the first time, for your first opera.
It's very accessible, and it has American themes running through it.
Right, American sailor who marries a Japanese wife and then abandons her. And at the end, it's a bit of a tragedy, to say the least.
Suffers the consequences, yes. Do you have I'm sure you must have wonderful Madame Butterfly and Pinkerton in the roles. Must be just fantastic.
Yeah, it's a cast that is new to us in many ways, and we're really excited about it. We've been in our final week of rehearsals, so putting all the elements together, because we rehearse everything separately, orchestra, chorus, and then little by little, all the pieces come together. And now this is the week where everything comes together for our Saturday night opening.
Well, Maestro, I know already the tickets are like flying off the shelves. So if you want to see Madame Butterfly, you're talking about March, so you better get on it soon, or it's going to sell out.
It will sell out certainly in Madame Butterfly, but we do a lot of opera. You know, we have 3 other productions of really important, beautiful operas. You know,
Tell us about them.
Well, we're doing a comedy, Rossini's The Italian Girl in Algiers, and may not be known to a lot of people, but it does. Opera lovers know it. It's performed all the time throughout the country, throughout the world. An opera called The Dialogue of the Carmelites, which is about Carmelite nuns during the French Revolution, and it's an extremely powerful piece.
It's a passionate drama.
Yeah, passionate drama that ends as you would expect a French Revolution opera to end, with you know, the nuns going to the guillotine, and it's really a moving work. It was written in 1957, premiered in 1957. So
Did not know it was that young.
It's kind of
testament of faith
of our time. Yeah, very strong.
And the last one, I believe?
The last opera is called The Love of Three Kings. It is not performed much.
I did not know this one.
It's a great opera. We did it in 2003, and the audience loved it so much that I just wanted to bring it back again, and it's been a few years, but it's just everything opera is about. And it's kind of strange because you'd say, well, I never heard of the opera, which is Love of Three Kings. And if I told you about the composer, you would say, I don't know who Montemezzi is, because that's his only really big opera. But it's really worth taking the time to come to. It's a passionate, sensual opera.
Well, wonderful. Maestro, it is a pleasure to have your opera in our community so that we can, you know, stretch our wings this season a little bit, opera lovers. And also, how many years have you been at the stern of this project?
This is my 36th year at Sarasota. 36 seasons.
Congratulations. That's
and
remarkable.
You're coming to the opera,
in this
right?
industry. I certainly will.
Okay,
I love
good.
the opera.
Good.
Love it.
Thank you.
Good stuff. We'll be right back.
2 years ago, my son was born. Now he's running, playing, and learning to speak. When I look at him, I can't help but to see how free he is. I want my son to have the same freedom when he grows up. Protect our freedom of speech, not just for us, but for the future generations.
I'm Alan Cohn. Putting America first will show you how the economy is reacting to President Trump and how his policies could impact business on the Suncoast.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
Contemporary Cabinetry and Closet Concepts. Our strength is in building a relationship with our clients. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. When you organize your home, you simplify your life. Call today for a free in-home consultation or visit the web at contemporarycabinetry.srq.com.
Ideologue. I am an originalist.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile, and in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
A new job for the Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator already. Kyle Shanahan heading west to be the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. They actually chose him about 2 weeks ago, but had to wait until after the Super Bowl to announce it. It might have been better if they had won the game. Shanahan replaces former head coach Chip Kelly, who was fired after 1 season with the 49ers. Well, Tom Brady has another ring, another trophy, but he's missing one thing right now, the jersey he wore. Somebody stole the jersey after the big game on Sunday night. Everyone now from Houston police to NFL security are trying to find the shirt. The equipment manager thought he had it safely locked up, but apparently that wasn't the case.
It's unfortunate because that's a nice piece of memorabilia. So if it shows up on eBay somewhere, someone let me know. Try to track that down.
Well, he can afford to rebuy it. The jersey's value might be as high as $500,000. Meantime, the Duck Boats have been fired up in Boston. The Patriots are taking their victory lap to celebrate that amazing win. This is a live picture of the victory parade that began about 11 o'clock this morning. In typical Boston fashion, players and other team officials rode in those duck boats, the World War II era vehicles that are popular with tourists in the city. Of course, the Pats beat the Falcons 34-28 in a first ever overtime, their 5th championship. John says it's about 37 degrees and a light rain right now as the players are heading through the city of Boston after an amazing, amazing victory. Many of us, no names, okay, me, stopped watching in the end of the third quarter as the Patriots came back to beat the Falcons in overtime. The biggest win ever, 51 Super Bowls later. That's the best one they've had. All right, let's go back to the kitchen now where John is there with our guest and good friend Chef Lindsay McDonald from Jack Dusty's and the Ritz-Carlton. Hey, guys.
I don't know what it is about chocolate, but who can resist? And why should you, by golly?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I see no good reason to resist.
And Lindsay, when you make something up, there is absolutely no reason because everything you do is so good. And today, undoubtedly, no exception. You've got some wonderful tastes I already see here cooking up in these pots.
You can't try that yet. You have to make the brownies first. You know,
okay.
You know I always put you to work.
Time to make the brownies.
Absolutely. No donuts today. So a good brownie, there are 2 things that are really important. First is your chocolate. You need good chocolate. If you don't use good chocolate, it's not going to taste like a good brownie.
How do you know if you're getting good chocolate?
Typically, a good chocolate is going to have a percentage on it. My favorite percentage for brownies, lowest 58% cocoa, highest maybe 72.
Okay.
Other than that, you're going to have to really, really love chocolate if you go above that. It almost gives the brownies a bitter taste if you go above 72%. So what I've done here is I have 8 ounces of butter and about 10 ounces of dark chocolate that I've got melting in this pot here. We're going to melt them together.
Now, I thought you always had to melt chocolate in a double boiler. Is that not so?
You
Apparently
always
not.
should. There's a lot of fat here. There's a lot of butter. And notice I'm stirring it constantly. I'm not going to give it the opportunity to sit on the burner. The burner's also very, very low right now.
Okay.
It's not, if you turn it on high, it's going to burn no matter how strong you are and how good at stirring you are.
Smells so good.
So we start with that. The second is you want to make sure and whip up your eggs. So in this bowl, there are 4 whole eggs, 2 egg yolks, and a whole pound of brown sugar.
Yeah, now. That's what I'm talking about.
I love the molasses component in brown sugar.
Did you say dark brown sugar or light brown?
Just, it's a light brown sugar that I use, but see how nice and thick and fluffy that is?
Beautiful.
You can do this with a hand beater or a mixer, and it's going to take 2 to 3 minutes time.
Okay.
Brownies are not that hard. Everybody always goes for the mix, and that's really, they're really only about 8 ingredients, and you usually have most of it at home.
And it's going to taste better if you do it yourself.
Oh,
than if
it's
you go
going
for
to
a mix.
taste so much better.
Now, can I assume that it's going to just basically be prepared to pay a little bit more if you want to get good chocolate?
Pay a little bit more, but really you're only looking at 10 ounces. That's not even a pound. That's not even, if you look at a whole bag of chocolate chips, it's not even a whole bag of chocolate chips.
And can you get good chocolate in your local grocery store?
You can get good chocolate in your local grocery store. In your local grocery store, sometimes you can find bars of chocolate. It may not always be easily chopped up. Ghirardelli does a good job. They'll have different percentages, and you'll find that in your local store. Any kind of natural food store is also going to have a lot of different options, but sometimes it's backed by the cheese section hiding.
Ah, good tip. Well, can I stir this for you while you go on to this and let us know?
I'm actually going to give you your flour. What I did is I mixed the chocolate and egg mixture together. Now I'm putting in flour, baking powder, and salt. Maybe salt. It wants to stay in there today.
We'll pretend it's in there.
We're going to pretend it's in there. There you go. So you're going to mix this just until it comes together and looks like a nice thick batter.
Okay, you got about a minute left.
Sure. The recipe online is going to give you a 9x13 pan if you're baking it at home. And then you will get these beautiful inch-thick blocks of what look like a fudge brownie. I'm going to sneak over here. And you can top these with anything. My favorite is German chocolate icing. I am truly, truly one of those people who love decadent
Look
at
at
heart.
that. Oh, my goodness
So
gracious.
for Jack Dusty, this is an extremely popular dessert. We top it with the German chocolate icing. And just for good measure, because I know what your relationship with chocolate is.
It's very tight.
It's tight.
Yeah.
Then we put a little bit of dark chocolate fudge over the top. This is just melted ganache.
Oh, yeah.
Just to make sure it's decadent enough.
Oh, the recipe for it's on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the recipe button. One last question. I always have a tendency to turn the brownies into bricks.
Don't do that.
What's the secret on knowing when they're cooked?
You aren't trying to cook them to where you cook a cake to where it springs back. Think of cheesecake, where you cook it till it's just set and it jiggles just a little bit. That's when you pull them out. If you cook it until it springs back like a cake, you're going to have beautiful hockey puck brownies.
Yeah, I know that story. All right. Thanks so much for coming in today, Lindsay.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure. Always fun. We'll be right back. Oh.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s, plus incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour 6 designer models. This is the time of your life. Make it island time at Harbor Isle. Go to mintofla.com now.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Police in Tennessee plan to follow and then ride school buses at random after a fatal crash last year killed 6 students. They'll continue to do this throughout the year. You might recall last November, 24-year-old Jonthony Walker crashed with 37 students on board. 6 were killed. He is now facing vehicular homicide charges. Police suspect he was going about 20 miles above the speed limit in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. An urgent manhunt is underway in Northwest Florida that police are calling a nightmare. As Lana Zach tells us, it involves 2 suspected murderers across state lines.
Police say a brazen murderous pair were shopping in the open at a Florida Walmart, wanted in connection with 3 murders across 2 states.
We've had reports of them everywhere in the country.
Police are frantically trying to find William Billy Boyette and Mary Rice before they strike again. Today, officials say they will take Boyette dead or alive.
Mr. Boyette, there are 2 places you can end up, prison or a cemetery. The choice is yours.
Boyette is wanted in the killing of 3 women, starting with a former girlfriend, 30-year-old Alicia Greer, a mother of 3. Greer's father says a sinister evil lies behind Boyette's friendly exterior.
He choked her down to the ground, kicked her in the face, hit her in the head with an unopened 2-liter bottle of soda so bad she had to have stitches in the top of her head.
Murdered alongside Greer, 39-year-old Jacqueline Jeanette Moore. And then a 3rd victim. In Alabama, 52-year-old Peggy Brose, killed in her front yard. The pair believed to have fled in her car. Most recently, a 4th shooting victim, Kayla Crocker in Pensacola. She's now in critical condition. Initially, police were not clear on Rice's role, hostage or accomplice. But after they were last spotted at a Walmart in Florida, the authorities say they have no doubts.
The video in Walmart, she was away from him shopping, and then she went back to him, in the parking lot. So, yeah, she's a willing participant. There's no doubt about that.
Police believe that the couple may be hiding out in the woods on Spice, a drug that allows them to stay awake for up to 6 days at a time, and that their most recent victims were selected at random. Lana Zach, ABC News, New York.
Well, not your typical rush hour crime, but police in Philadelphia say a man stole a taxi and drove through a crowded park. Oh, and he was naked. Police say the man stole the cab when the driver got out, and it went downhill from there. Listen. The man wound up hitting 3 parked cars before crashing into a curb. He was taken to the hospital. No other injuries were reported. And hard to believe this, Sean. Took a taxi, not Uber.
I better all the Uber drivers were happy about that.
That's exactly right.
Wow, he's lucky he didn't kill anyone.
I know, it's not funny at all.
Obviously not a sane individual at the moment.
No, correct.
Yeah. We have some lovely weather outside right now, Ray. There is the possibility that some parts of the state of Florida could get some pretty rough weather as we head into the next 24 hours or so. We have some strong storms that are kind of organizing and getting their act together in the Louisiana Delta region, and they're going to gradually move into this direction during the overnight. So we're watching them pretty carefully. Rest of the afternoon, not a whole lot of worries. The Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows just fair weather clouds having moved through earlier in the morning, giving way to a little bit of sunshine, then clouds building once again. Those clouds will produce, some of them, a little spot of rainfall this afternoon, mostly east of the interstate. That's the sea breeze front action. Has nothing to do with the line of storms I was just talking about. The sea breeze front is being productive today, I think, because of the huge amounts of moisture in the air. We're at dew points now in the mid-60s, making it feel very sticky. So through the afternoon, we'll put in about a 20% chance of those sea breeze showers east of the interstate. Overnight tonight, that's when showers and thunderstorms will start to move down the state of Florida. We'll talk about that in just a minute, right?
All right, thank you, John. Caught on camera, new this afternoon, an amazing story here. Shocking video of a daycare worker breastfeeding, and the baby isn't hers. The mother of the child in the video says the worker did it even after she specifically asked her not to. Let's learn more about this story now from Andrea Blandford.
In this cell phone video of security footage from inside Carborough Early School, pre-K teacher Casey Oxendine says a fellow daycare worker she barely knows has seen breastfeeding her 3-month-old son.
That's an innocent baby. My baby couldn't say, no, don't do that. He couldn't defend himself.
Casey says on Friday, the woman who has a 2-month-old in the same class suggested a remedy for his constipation.
She said that she had a son, and did I want her to put my child to her breast and breastfeed him? I said, no, that's nasty. You know, we don't do things like that.
Casey's son, born prematurely, is lactose intolerant and ended up in the hospital Friday night. Angry and disgusted, Casey can now see what happened moments after she left the room. The woman adjusting her shirt and pulling her baby to her chest.
She did it with ease, like it's something she does on a normal basis.
Last fall, the Department of Health and Human Services gave superior ratings to both Carborough and Orange Chatham Early Schools, where the daycare director says the woman usually worked. He tells Eyewitness News she's licensed and had worked in childcare for more than a decade. Casey telling us the woman is now fired, but she hopes police press charges.
Not only, you know, did you put your breast on my son, you also made my son sick. I would hate for any parent, any family to have to go through what me and my family have had to go through.
Well, police say it could be misdemeanor child abuse. So far, no charges have been filed. On to consumer news now. A recall is underway for a popular brand of dog food. Evangers is voluntarily recalling some of its hunk of beef dog food. So far, 5 dogs have gotten sick and 1 dog has died. 12-ounce cans were sold in stores in 12 states, including in Florida. The USDA is urging anyone who has these cans to throw them away immediately. This is the company's first recall in 82 years. They're also paying the vet bills of all these sick dogs and making a donation to a shelter in honor of the dog that died. Another strange story now, bidding for a Cheeto-shaped gorilla that was killed last year in Cincinnati, sold for a huge price on eBay. You can't make this stuff up. A user listed this Cheeto that bears a striking resemblance to the gorilla that died last year. Bidding ended this morning with a winning bid of $99,900. The seller said he found the unique cheese snack in a bag of Cheetos. This gorilla was killed last May by zoo handlers after dragging a toddler who had fallen into an enclosure in the zoo. From guzzling gum to shoving a podium, actress Melissa McCarthy did quite a satire last weekend of White House spokesman Sean Spicer, and now Spicer is speaking out about it.
Melissa McCarthy sure added spice to Press Secretary Sean Spicer. She began
by apologizing on behalf of you to me. And that apology is not accepted.
A sketch for the ages, tweeted one critic. Might be the best SNL skit ever, raved Glamour magazine. There's talk McCarthy could become a recurring character, though SNL wouldn't comment. The writers took Spicer's actual squabble over the phrase travel ban that President Trump himself used.
He's using the words that the media is using. But at the end of the day, it can't... Hold on.
The travel ban is not a ban, which makes it not a ban.
But you just called it a ban.
Because I'm using your words. You said ban. It's circular using of the word, and that's from you.
The actual Spicer, who's been known to hold up things, was portrayed using props.
Against radical Muslims.
Spicer has not been known to weaponize his podium.
Are you okay?
Come here. When asked about the skit, Spicer told Extra that Melissa McCarthy could dial it back a bit. He told Fox News.
It was cute. It's funny.
One personal quirk that SNL barely had to exaggerate.
I'm here to swallow gum, and I'm here to take names.
I think Melissa McCarthy needs to slow down on the gum chewing. Way too many pieces in there.
Otherwise, he says it was accurate, I guess. That was Jeannie Most reporting. By the way, Spicer admits he actually chews 2.5 packs of Orbit cinnamon gum every day before noon. Cinnamon. Spicer is indeed spicy. Meantime, Rosie O'Donnell looking to join the SNL family. She tells her Twitter audience last night that she is available to play President Trump's advisor, Steve Bannon, saying, quote, "If called, I will serve." O'Donnell and Trump do not get along. So here's what former presidents do. Barack Obama going kite surfing in the Virgin Islands. Let's see how he does. He has been with founder of Virgin Air, Sir Richard Branson, for a couple of weeks now on Branson's Necker Island, enjoying a real nice time. When we come back, John's changing forecast, plus you loved his movie. We'll tell you why this author is on the Suncoast after this.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
If you want to rediscover the smooth, radiant skin of your past, consider a facelift, eyelid lift, or laser resurfacing from Faces by Feza. Restore your natural, youthful appearance and the confidence that goes with it when you trust your face to the expert hands of Dr. John Feza. Using a delicate touch, he gives you natural-looking contours, a clean jawline, and long-lasting results. Call today to schedule a private consultation, because when you look good, you feel good. Faces by Feza at Center for Sight.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
So we're looking at air temperatures that are already kind of steamy out there with an actual air temperature of 80 degrees, but the dew point at 65, making it feel pretty uncomfortable to a lot of folks, I think. It's the beginning of that feel of sticky, humid air. Now, granted, if you have dew points in the 70s, it really feels like Florida in the summer. But even in the mid-60s, I think it begins to get that little bit of a humid edge to things. And the thing is, I don't think we're done with the dew points. I think they're going to continue to rise as we head into the afternoon, and our south wind becomes even a little bit more to the southwest, coming in off Gulf waters. We have across the region temperatures that are just pretty much uniformly in the upper 70s to near the 80-degree mark or at across the region. We have 80 degrees in Sarasota and upper 70s most everywhere else. Low 70s, Longboat Key coming in at 70, maybe a little bit too cool there. And that, I don't believe, is a true temperature in Punta Gorda, coming in at 93. They're having a problem with the thermostat down there, I think. We have the beginnings of sea breeze showers forming across the region right now. As we head into the afternoon, I think this will become a little bit heavier and a little bit more widespread as the line builds, moves inland toward Highlands County. I don't think we'll see any severe weather with these. These are going to be sea breeze kinds of showers, light stuff. No worries here through the afternoon into the evening hours. That's when they'll start to settle down. Back to the west, we do have some stronger storms, some of them pretty strong. In fact, some gusty winds associated with some of them. Good updrafts already being detected. And we do have a tornado watch issued for a lot of the area because of the threat of severe weather later today. Severe Storms Prediction Center gives that area an enhanced chance of developing into strong storms. So we'll be watching that area for the potential. We are not in that zone of risk for severe storms yet, but it is possible as we progress through the next 24 hours, some of this zone could shift south. I don't think we'll get into the enhanced area, but we could see perhaps a marginal risk. This pushed a little bit further to the south if that line holds together as it works its way down the peninsula. And it may, probably by early tomorrow morning, is when we'll most likely see that line heading our way. The area of low pressure back to the west kind of coalesces into one frontal boundary. That one frontal boundary sinks southward by about Thursday, clears the area with a few scattered showers. Before that, this line of showers moves through, and that one is stronger, associated with kind of the upper level support necessary to produce those stronger storms. Mostly sunny skies, showers inland today, another warm day, and then overnight we watch for the potential of some stronger storms heading south. So south wind at about 10 knots today, and over the course of the week ahead, we'll look for a couple of chances of showers this afternoon, tomorrow morning, Thursday early morning, and then everything clears out for the weekend. Back to you.
Very nice. Thank you, John. There's a place in southern Sarasota County we want you to know about. Linda Carson has details in a place we call home.
The Hermitage is an artist retreat at the very edge of the Gulf on Minnesota Beach.
Well, the Hermitage brings writers and painters, composers, playwrights, really individual artists that come from around the world to this really magnificent space to do their work, to write their plays, to compose their compositions.
5 artists are here at a time. They spend 6 weeks, and the only thing they have to pay for are their travel expenses. The Hermitage pays for everything else through donations. Artists can't apply to come here. They must be chosen by a national committee.
It's very, very hard to get in, and as a result, we have some of the best artists, not only in America, but in the world, come here to work. They come here for the solitude and for the inspiration and for the community with other artists.
The Hermitage is made up of 5 historic buildings with very comfortable living facilities for the artists and studio spaces big and small to meet their needs. The beach and the Gulf are at their doorstep with stunning views from every window. The artists are inspired.
An example is Anna Klein, who was the resident composer for the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. She composed a piece here called The Prince of Clouds that was premiered by Chicago and was nominated for a Grammy Award.
The Hermitage opened in 2005, the idea of Patricia Caswell, the director of the Sarasota Arts Council at the time. The Arts Council restored the historic buildings on the site. This one was originally built in 1907.
It was a nudist colony in 1936 or so. And so we're very proud of that legacy.
This building?
This building was, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And actually the green building that's over there.
Great works have already been created here.
We had an opera at the Met that was composed here. As a symphony for Boston Symphony, it's composed here. In fact, we're going up to New York on March 1st to hear a violin concerto that was composed for the New York Philharmonic by one of our composers, Lara Auerbach.
The Hermitage brings great natural beauty and great human talent together, and magic happens.
I think the important thing is that there's a lot of really important work that is being done around the world that starts here.
More than 300 world-class artists, the tops in their field, have worked here at the Hermitage since it opened in 2005. The Hermitage, one of the reasons the Suncoast is such a great place to call home. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Very peaceful place. Thank you, Linda. Well, guess what? The man who wrote The Notebook will be on the Suncoast tonight. Nicholas Sparks wrote The Notebook and Safe Haven, both big films on the big screen. Proceeds from tonight's fundraiser will benefit the Manatee Library System's new literacy program for kids. It's at the Neal Performing Arts Center at the State College of Florida Bradenton campus. 7 o'clock and tickets are still available. Coming up, well wishes are needed for the niece of a pop superstar. And we're counting down to the Oscars, the traditional luncheon that gets all of Hollywood's biggest stars together before the big event. That's next in entertainment news.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
Our goal is to do things better than anybody in the country. What makes Sarasota Memorial Hospital's program so special is that it's taking care of the patient in every aspect of cardiovascular disease. And in this community, the patients are very active. The idea is not just to get them over that operation, but to get them back to doing the things that they enjoy doing.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Britney Spears' 8-year-old niece has been hospitalized after a serious ATV accident. Maddie Spears Aldridge was driving when it flipped over into a nearby pond. The child was stuck inside by the seatbelt. Relatives managed to save her. She was airlifted to the hospital where she is said to be in serious condition. Britney Spears tweeted saying, "Need all the wishes and prayers for my niece." Maddie is the daughter of Jamie Lynn Spears, Britney's sister. Loving, Fences, La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, all winners at the annual AARP Awards in Beverly Hills. Among the honorees, actor Morgan Freeman. He received a Career Achievement Award for his many critically acclaimed roles. Actress Annette Bening also recognized for her role in 20th Century Women. And Jeff Bridges was honored for the film Hell or High Water. The award celebrates films that appeal to mature audiences. A-list stars gathered for the annual Oscar nominees luncheon. Nominees included Emma Stone, Justin Timberlake, and Nicole Kidman. During the lunch, the stars got a lecture from the Academy president about keeping their acceptance speeches short. The traditional class photo was taken as well. Among them is Hamilton blockbuster creator Lin-Manuel Miranda.
My mom always knew. My mom always said, when you get nominated, I'm your date. I think she said it to me when I was 13 years old. So I'm very happy to keep my word.
The diversity of this year's nominees was also saluted. This was the 36th year of the nominees luncheon. And John and I both like a sleeper of a movie that we both recently saw, coincidentally, that can't be up for this year's, maybe next year's. The Founder, starring Michael Keaton, the story of Ray Kroc. That's a real surprisingly good movie.
Yeah, it was great. And, you know, Michael Keaton just continuously surprises me.
Yeah.
Every movie he has made recently has just been fantastic.
Real good. Quick weather word from you?
You know, we're going to be carefully watching this line of storms as it develops and continues to move closer to the state of Florida. Be sure to watch Bob's forecast tonight at 5 for the latest on the evolution of the storm in the afternoon.
Have a good next afternoon, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow.